Good morning, people. Right, child maintenance corruption part 2 as promised. So if you haven't seen part 1, watch that first, then come back onto this one. So here we are, this week's events. Oh, it's a right fucking merry-go-round this week. You'll love this one. Called her on Monday after an hour and a half trying to get through to this girl on the phone. Dog barking in the background, on her end, by the way, not my end. I said, are you in the office today? She went, no, I'm working from home. I said, what are you working from home for? She said, that's got nothing to do with this conversation. It's got everything to do with this conversation. Go and speak to your line manager. I want to get this resolved. She put the phone down. Couldn't believe it. Okay, bollocks to you then. So I carried on my working day. Phoned her again on Tuesday. Got through to someone in the office. Incredible. A human voice. Well, I say that. Well, a voice. And got through security, the usual crap. I said, okay, what's going on with this phone call? Have you listened to this phone call I've requested? It's quite an urgent phone call. It proves that the arrears were cleared. And she went, yeah, we have heard the phone call. I'm just going to go through the notes. So she went away, done what she had to do, come back. Because I've just seen the notes. And the notes say, paying parent was advised the arrears have been cleared. But receiving parent didn't agree to it. I said, how's that fucking possible? So you've called me up 2 years ago to say the arrears have been cleared. You're not psychic, are you? You've got psychic, we might have psychic powers, but you're not going to make that up and go, I'm going to call this guy, make sure he knows the arrears have been cleared. And then months later, or years later, it hasn't been cleared. She said, no, what it is, we've called the receiving parent a few times, and every time she tells us the arrears still stand. Okay, oh, fucking brilliant. So she took the money for me, the extra £1,000 we spoke about last week, and now you're saying she's not agreed to it. Yeah, I said, so she runs a child maintenance service now, does she? Because you fucking called me to clear the arrears, and now you've gone back to the receiving parent, who's tucked me up nicely now, by the way, to say hasn't been cleared. She said, yeah. I said, how the fuck does that work? I said, I really need this SAR report to come back to me. I said, because what's going to happen is, all the transcripts, all the phone calls, all the messages, not just from me, from her as well, the receiving parent, have all got to come into public domain, all come my way. And obviously all the payments as well. I said, this is bollocks. I said, I'm 4 months now into deductions of earnings order. We're taking 40% of my salary, for something I haven't fucking done. So I said, this has to fucking end. This is crazy shit. And then she was just babbling on. I just put the phone down. I thought, I've had fucking enough of this. I really have had enough of this. And gets to Thursday, I'll get a text message from the DWP. Right? It's just, it doesn't mention my name, just a basic generic text message. Said, we have received your request for the SAR, subject access report. Do not contact us. We'll be in touch within 30 days. So basically, yeah, I think we're up and running with the SAR thing, because I can't believe it. DWP have actually contacted me directly, and the child maintenance service, by the way, worked for them. So it's all interlinked. But I can't believe it. They've actually received what I requested. And I think, hopefully, in the next month or so, we should have some indication of where the corruption lies. And so that's where we are. Yesterday, Friday, I get 1, 2, 3, 4 letters from the child maintenance service. Now, bear in mind, I've not had a physical letter in the post for 4 years. They started sending me letters again now. Not 1 or 2. No. 4. And it's no longer the brown envelope, folks. No. They've gone all green on us. It's fucking white envelopes now. So it's no longer the dreaded brown envelope. It's a dreaded white envelope. And the 4 letters they've sent me, 2 of them the same fucking thing. We've received your SARS request, blah, 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 twice. The other one is the arrears, whatever the arrears are. But it's all bullshit, because there's no calculation of how they're broken down. It just gives you one figure, one little line, and that's it. So that's a lot of crap. So that's where we are. So hopefully, I'm not going to call them anymore, because it's pointless exercise. But I need this SAR report. But one thing that does fucking bug me is, they've actually agreed on their notes that the arrears have been cleared. But they've said to me, the wrong information has been given to you because the receiving parent didn't agree to it. I mean, how corrupt is that? This is bollocks. That is obtaining money by deception. Because someone else has taken money off me and not followed through what they were going to say they were going to do, even though I sent all the evidence in, the text messages, the phone calls, the payments, etc., etc., etc. So this is just fucking bizarre. So now I've got to play the waiting game to find out where they come from with this SARS report. But I did speak to someone last week who really fucking shocked me with their comments. And it's not someone who's famous or anything like that, just the person who's dealt with them for quite a while and had a few battles with them. And this bloke said to me, he's heard that the child maintenance service, I know it's a business, but they send arrears out to balance the books. Not because they're real arrears, they just want to make money. I mean, if this is fucking true, this is a disgrace. DWP, you got to fucking answer to this. These accusations are fucking ruthless. You're basically taking money off men, driven them to their fucking suicides for something they haven't done. Yeah, it's just fucking crazy shit. So anyway, I'll leave it there. I'm off for a cup of tea, and I'll give you an update as soon as the parasites get back to me. I'll leave it there. Bye-bye.